the Metropole Zoo recently celebrated the birth of two baby pandas, Moki, I guess, or Kappa, right? That's been measured and weighed each week, has been charted on the graph below. So there's two ways of representing the same exact thing. This is one panda, this is another. This is the number of weeks, 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the weight of Moki, 1, 5, 9, and 13 in those weeks. This is Kappa, and this is the time in weeks. You can see week 1, week 2, 3, week 4, week 5, 6. And this is the weight of Kappa. So on 0, they are whatever they are. On 1, they are whatever they are. On 2, they are whatever they are. So please make sure that when you're copying this down, you're copying it exactly as it is. All right, so the question is, which panda was heavier when they were born? So when they were born, has any time passed? No. So I'm looking for when x is 0, okay, what are the weights? Okay, so when x is 0, what are the weights? So for Mochi, and for Kappa, when x is 0, Mochi was weight is equal to 1. For Kappa, when x is 0, what's the y? When x is 0, y is what? And so this goes up in 4s, so then half of 4 would be 2. So which panda was heavier when they were born? This is a listening check, coloring x equals 0, Kappa. Okay. Which panda is growing faster? Now, the speed of growth or the change, remember, is what? Let's say how something is changing or growing. You're talking about your slope. So you're looking for your m, which remember is change in y over change in x. So for Mochi, and I'll put Kappa all the way over here for Kappa. Change in y. So here's Mochi. Which one is x and which one is y? Time is always x. Okay, so you see how it says weeks? That's always x, and you can see that right here. Time is always x. So this is gonna be your x. It's gonna be your y. And how is it changing? Changing y over changing x. So changing y. So it goes from here to here. What are we doing? Adding 4. From here to here, adding 4. From here to here, adding 4. And you can refer to the video on slopes from a table and from a graph if you've forgotten that. So the weight, the change in y, is equal to positive 4. The change in x, so x goes 0 to 1 is plus 1. This is a listening check, coloring weeks. 2 to 3 is plus 1. And all you do is you subtract these two. 1 minus 0 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 2 is that. 5 minus 1 is 4. 9 minus 5 is 4. 13 minus 9 is 4, in case you can't just see it. So change in x is positive 1. So simplify, positive by positive is a positive. 4 divided by 1 is 4. So this is the slope or how fast Mochi is growing. So now we're going to look at Kappa. So again, same thing, change in y over change in x. But this time it is a graph. Okay. So change in y is how is it changing from one point to the next. So you can start with any 2 points. It doesn't matter which one you want. So I can start right here. Okay, from here to the next point. Now, actually, I'm going to show you to a different point because if you don't pick the 2 closest points, you're going to need to simplify. So I'm going to actually show you that in this video. Why not? So say if I'm going from here to here. Okay, so how am I going to change? So this is going to be 2, 4, 6, 8. So I'll go to this top one just in case I drew that wrong. Okay. This is a listening check, coloring weight LBS. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14. Because it's going up in 2s, okay, from each point. So that's positive 14 over. And then how many do I go over? So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. And that's what? How many positive? 4. All right, now you see, if I pick the closest 2 points, it'd already be simplified. But now it's not because I didn't pick the closest 2 points. So now I have to simplify. Okay, so which panda is growing faster? The one that's growing at a rate of 3 or the one that's growing at 4? Well, the one that's growing at 4 is getting faster because that's the bigger number. So Mochi is going faster. Which panda will weigh more at 5 weeks? So at 5 weeks, so that's when x equals 5. Let me need to know what Moki's weight is and what Kappa.
This is a listening check, color in Kappa.
So at x equals 5, I don't have it here, right? But I can easily get to it because it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, then the next number will be what? 4. Next number will be 5. And we just need to find what that weight would be if it keeps going in this pattern. What is it doing every time? It's adding 4. So the next number after you add 4 would be 17. Next number after that, when you add 4, would be 21. Yeah. So at 5 weeks, Moki is 21. And at Kappa at 5 weeks, so we go here. At 5 weeks, you go to that point, and we go across, and that's going to be 16. So which panda weighs more? Which number is bigger? Moki is bigger. Okay, so they'll give you two things and ask you to compare. All right, let's take a look at another example. Odessa, biggest loser are Valerie and Oscar. Their weight progress is shown below. So this time we have a function, an equation, and then we have a table. But you're going to do the same thing. You're going to be finding slope and y-intercepts and stuff like that. Question is, who weighed more at the beginning of the show? So at the beginning, has any time passed? No. So that's going to be when x is equal to 0. What do they start with? Where x is equal to 0 or the y-intercept. And the two people are Valerie.
This is a listening check, color in Valerie.
And Oscar. Okay, so when x is equal to 0, the y-intercept. So when x is equal to 0. So when time is equal to 0. All right, so when t, the time, is equal to 0, what is Valerie? So just plug it in. So when t is 0, that becomes 0. So the weight is 235. And really, to make this easier, we can just rewrite this in the order in y equals mx plus b. So y equals mx, which is this part right here, plus this part. And immediately you can see the y-intercept is always the plus b part. If you can just rewrite that. So Valerie's weight starts at 235. Okay, Oscar, when t is 0 or x is 0, whichever variable you want to use. So when no time has passed, Oscar weighs 247.
This is a listening check, color in Oscar equals 247.
So the question is, who weighed more? So who weighed more? Oscar weighed more. Right. Who is losing weight faster? So speed, like how something is changing, remember, is what? Your slope. So we're looking for who has the biggest slope. So we're looking for m, which again, remember, is change in y over change in x. How do I find what the m is here? So remember, it's written as y equals mx plus b, and m is right before the x. So where's the number right before the x? In this case, it's a t, so negative 2.5. So if it's negative, it means it's going down. So she's losing weight at negative 2.5. So Valerie is losing weight at negative 2.5. Oscar is a table, so I have to find the change in y over the change in x. Remember, time is always your x. So this is your x, and this is your y. Okay, so change in y over change in x. So how do you go from 247 to 243? Just subtract the two numbers. 243 minus 247 is negative 4. It's excess. So it goes from 0 to 2, which is adding 2. My change in y is negative 4. My change in x is positive 2. Then my change in y is negative 4, and change in x is positive 2. Negative divided by positive is a negative. 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Who's losing weight faster? Valerie is losing negative 2.5 every time. Oscar is only losing negative 2. So Valerie.